Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for November 7th through the 13th of 2021. So the power continues, y'all. We had our super new moon in Scorpio on Thursday. I'm talking to you early Friday, but on Sunday we have Samhain, the Scorpio gate of power in the cross quarter between fall equinox and winter solstice. Now, most of you have heard me say this is always my favorite season of the year because I love talking to the ancestors. And now I'm sure you've heard me mention the class I'm in with Yeye Louisa Tish right now, which is an ancestor class, and I'm just having so much fun being with a crew that likes to honor the ancestors this way. And this is your chance every year to just take a little pause and give a little gratitude for those who went before you. So it is time for honoring the dead and our ancestors and our loved ones. You may have also heard me say we have our DNA ancestors. Our affinity ancestors are just those who we resonate with or extended family. And then the long line, all the way back to Africa. So we honor all three levels of healthy, well, benevolent, loving ancestors. We do other things for the rest of them. But it's also time to prepare for several months of inner self-work. Okay, Scorpio turns us inward to our souls. Time for honoring that which is complete, aspects of your being and world. Time when the veils between dimensions are thinned, easing communications, which is why we do this. Time to prepare for seasonal shift. This hemisphere is winter, time to rest and replenish. Time for honoring the end of a cycle, while glimpsing the new cycle about to begin. Because what we really do at this time is a ton of divinations. We ask all kinds of questions about the year that we're wrapping up, so that we can get clear on what we got done and what we need to do further on. And we start asking about the upcoming year of 2022 and what we can expect there or how can we best prepare. So this is another Kellyism. Your invisible team is much more available than the humans right now. We are all kind of off on our own trying to reset some things within so that we can function without a little better. And that is how it goes, y'all, just so you know. You're not going to fix the world and then go fix yourself. You got to fix yourself and then the world will be okay. So our gate of power comes every year, the first week of November. Technically, it is at 11 p.m. my time, which is mountain. So what is that? 10 p.m. Pacific, and probably makes it 1 a.m. on the 8th for the East Coast. So very late on Sunday night is our actual gate of power when you can give a little nod to the ancestors. But it's also about honoring the invisible assistants. This completes the 8 sacred seasons of the solar year that I'm always going on and on about. You've done all that you can do for the last 10 plus months, and now you must surrender. You've been intuitively guided and completely supported the whole time, whether you were aware of it or not. All seasonal shifts call your attention to balance and remind you to periodically tune in to your heart, Mother Nature, and Great Spirit. This is the time of year for closure, within and without. The cross-quarter seasons, which happen between each of the solstices and equinoxes, it's the halfway point between them, have long been considered to be gates of power, a threshold that offers access to other realms of existence, other dimensions which are relevant and connected to our own third dimension. During this time of year, reflection on the past and rumination on the future commingle. The angels, ancestors, and animal spirit guides should be honored and will be more accessible for communing with at this time of year. You can ask for their guidance on the lesson and purpose of certain events and experiences of the past year, and you can ask for guidance on how to proceed during the upcoming year. After completion, clearing, and release, it is especially good to sit with the empty space for a period of time. The same thing goes for our creative output. For most of you are leaders and guides in your own realms, and there has to be a little pause in between all that output, right? This is an infinitely potent time in between, a place also referred to as the sweet spot in agriculture, which is that very thin membrane between seed and new life. Plant your seeds of the future during this dark time and be still, listen, invite life. This 6-week period prior to winter solstice has the longest nights, implying rest, work behind closed doors, and moving through any personal darkness. It is time to restore strength and prepare for the light's return, when things will again begin to quicken. So Scorpio represents the most potent time of the year. And when it's ruled by Mars, it asks us, what do you deeply desire? And when it's ruled by Pluto, it asks, what are you willing to sacrifice to have that desire fulfilled? So are you willing to sacrifice fear for love, doubt for faith, false pride for true confidence, skepticism for critical thinking, poverty consciousness for abundance, groundless low self-esteem for knowing who you are? These are the things we give up at Scorpio time, all the toxic things or the things that have run their course and are really ready to be composted into something new and different. This is the time when the life-death-life cycle is at work, highlighting the area of your life where you may experience an ending and subsequent new beginning. It is a time to honor the dead, which can apply to friends and family who are no longer on this plane of existence with us, though their essence never dies and becomes more accessible at this time. Or it can apply to your own being, your creative projects, cycles in your life that are now complete. In between a completion and the initiation of a new cycle, project, or part of yourself, a time out, rest, reverence, reflection are all highly recommended. Also, this is the last of the 8 sacred seasons of the year when people who honor Mother Earth celebrate each turn of the wheel, each cycle. This is the season between fall equinox and winter solstice. So there is still an element of harvest going on. However, it is more about the surrender and rest in preparation for new life. So I always take the opportunity to share the rhythm repeatedly so that you all can really learn it and dial it in for yourselves. Winter, spring, summer, fall is the active seasons that everyone's familiar with and wired for. So that winter, spring, summer, fall is always associated with Aries, Libra, and Cancer, Capricorn, which are the cardinal signs. So there's lots of choices and decisions and movement and action during those turns of the season, right? The halfway point, 6 weeks into the 12-week season, we have the gates of power, like what we're talking about today. They're ruled by Taurus, Scorpio, and Leo, Aquarius. So they happen during the fixed times of year. Fixed energies for all of us is where we either anchor permanently or release permanently. This is the part of us that are slow to change, but once we change, it's permanent. So when you tune into the rhythm, you'll notice that Gemini, Sag, and Virgo, Pisces do not rule a particular season. They come in the month before winter, spring, summer, fall. And then we have the gates of power after. So the way I try to teach the rhythm is Gemini, Sag, Virgo, Pisces are our mutable signs and the part of us that do our processing, mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical processing. This is how we understand our world. And just think about how often people don't process what's going on and then they have problems, right? So the idea is to check in with yourself, go within during Gemini, Sag, Virgo, Pisces, so that you can integrate and process whatever's come up for you in that quarter. And the idea is we process and then we go into winter, spring, summer, fall, and we have to make choices. So if we've done our processing, choices is easy. That's not a problem. Then once we make those choices, something always has to get grounded and anchored because something's changed because you've made a choice or you've made a move. You've gone in a new direction of some sort. So the rhythm is process, choose, anchor. Process, choose, anchor. Process, choose, anchor. And we just do this over and over and over every single year. That's why it's a rhythm that we can tune into and get co-creative with. So if you catch yourself and it's Gemini, Sag, Virgo, Pisces, and you're over processing something, that's pretty much why. You have to get grounded at that point in the reality of what choices are next. You know, it kind of helps you pull yourself back into what is the lesson and purpose? Is this relevant and useful? Is this true or not? You know, that's how we process. Those are the different processing filters, right? But then we make our choices and then we anchor them or we clear space to go into process again. And then we process what's coming up. We make a choice and we anchor it in some way. And this is how we co-create with the rhythm. We know what time it is. We know what energy is supported. You'll also always hear me say that we can't stop our lives for the planets, certainly, but I like to go with what's supported. So if what I'm trying to do is not actually supported at that time, I prepare myself for a little extra work, for a little extra focus and attention that it might take to get it done because the energy is not with me. So that's why I try to do everything when the energy is with me, right? But you can't always. So sometimes we got to just dig in and do what we got to do. But that's our seasonal shift. This is the midpoint and the closure of the year, because winter solstice is the conception and the new point where we start to call in what we're going to bring into form in 2022. And this year's Capricorn season is packed because of Venus retrograde and lingering there. So there's lots of energy going on in our cardinal departments for this last quarter, where we're having to really get clear about who we are, what we want, and how we're going to get things done in the new year. That's all Sunday. Monday the 8th, we have Pallas going direct in Pisces. Pallas takes about 5 years to make it through the signs, so retrograding in Pisces is very special. Plus, she's been traveling with Neptune, taking us even deeper into our own inner beliefs and stirring our imaginations. Pallas is our individual, unique genius. And it has been very interesting to note what is coming up from the depths of our subconscious these days. As she moves forward, you may start to put some pieces together. It's time to fully engage your heart, soul, and imagination to connect with the creative solutions and prismatic perspective that is necessary to navigate these crazy times in the social collective. Pallas is also completing her journey through the signs in a way that is a reboot for all of us, no matter where our Pallas resides in our chart. Use this energy to tap into your higher self and ask how you could be more imaginative in your life choices, how you could be more multidimensional in your approach, and how you could be more intuitive with your responses. Pallas can really help us with that. That was Monday. Then Wednesday the 10th, Mercury conjunct Mars. Okay, y'all. Now, I could refer you back to the special Mercury audio, but there was a special Mercury audio I did just to cover the Mercury retrograde activations themselves. And this is where I go a little deeper into this conjunction with Mars, because with this one and with Venus, Mercury did something different and hooked up with them in a totally different way than is usual. So in this case, it hooked up with Mars in an initiatory way in August in Virgo. And we discussed how that was really making it personal for us to really look at ourselves and do some healing work around our thinking and our choices and how we want to go forward. And then it retrograded in Libra, stirred it all up there, linked up with Mars again once Mars had gone into Libra, which suggests that the review itself has to do, if we can get ourselves together in Virgo, then we can always do Libra better. And then if we reset the balance, again, Mercury and Mars is personal. It's your thinking, it's your choices and actions, it's your desires and how you go about getting them, or the ideas, thoughts, and concepts that you act on. And now we're coming up, I'm so excited, on Wednesday the 10th, and it links up with Mars in Scorpio. So to me, we've already gone through a process of rebirth and restoration, let's say, so that we could conceive some brand new ideas now in Scorpio, because this is the conception point. This is the place where we, again, tap into soul and ask what ideas and choices it wants to act on now going forward. So I have to preface this with two things. One is when Mercury is involved, it is a relatively fast-moving energy. And two, when Mars is involved, being the lower version of power, Pluto being the higher version, reminds us that with power also comes responsibility. Now, all that said, the positive expression of this energy is that you can control your mind and direct it with passion, getting tangible results. This heightens your intellectual ability and mental capacity, for better or worse. You will be able to clearly articulate your thoughts, and you should have quick, effective responses. If you maintain your integrity, this is an excellent time to fuel major creative expression. If this energy manifests its negative side, it can make you petty and combative, arguing over nonsense and wasting precious time and energy in ego control dramas. And if it is not coming from you, it is just as possible to be coming at you from others. This is the best time to put your energy, which is Mars's department, behind your thoughts, ideas, and words, Mercury, and get creative. The power of this pairing is that they are occupying the same space, essentially energizing each other and initiating a new 2-year cycle. So see what I mean? We can't initiate that 2-year cycle while it was going back and forth, right? But that back and forth is special. It never happens. And so we were allowed to do some extra work in the Virgo departments and Libra departments that prepared us to get to this Scorpio one to have a real initiation. So I hope you can work with that. Of course, the same day, because Mercury and Mars are together, In Scorpio, that means they're both squaring Saturn this week. So the deal with that is, again, we've had so much to review, revise, go back over, and deal with the Mercury retrograde, right? That we probably do have to get out of our comfort zone in the reality of things, because now we've changed our mind. We've grown in our thinking. We've processed some things and integrated some things. So we have a little bit more clarity about our desires, our Mars desires, right? So the thinking and actions are now squaring off with the 3D reality and the physical limitations. So let's see how we can deal with that. Mercury square Saturn says that this energy is good for deep self-reflection and intentional solitude, rather than negotiating with others, as it can create challenges around communication and self-expression. It is easier to feel misunderstood when trying to convey something, or you may seem a little down to others when it's more of a serious, not necessarily negative vibration, right? So serious and negative have two different definitions. This is not usually good energy for business negotiations unless every detail is very clear to all involved. This energy often makes you most critical of yourself, but it could trickle over onto others as well. Basically, Saturn helps you see any weakness and instability so that you can recognize what needs to be fixed or fortified. And Mercury can actually be useful for learning. Beware of a tendency toward apathy, pessimism, and/or depression. That's Saturn and Mercury, which makes it more mental than literal. Try to stay focused on all the blessings that you do have and all that you have accomplished, instead of what's still on the list of things to do in life. This energy is not intended to make you feel bad about all the things left yet to do, but encourage you to begin the necessary steps and be okay with small measures of progress for now. This energy tends to make you focus on the practical side of manifesting. Clear the mental distractions and emotional debris, and begin to lay a new, clean, solid foundation beneath your goals. Then strategize about the details of bringing it to fruition. That will cheer you up too, of course. So see what I mean? We're coming out of the retrograde, and it's linking up with Saturn, and it's just asking us to get more clear about what we're going to build going forward. When Mars squares Saturn is a different animal altogether. This is the energy of action being restricted and the anger or frustration that follows. Same day, this is all Wednesday. You can either be angry and feel restricted, limited, and unable to move, or you can see this energy as an opportunity to define the right actions to take and strategically plan to take them when the universe is more supportive. This energy requires us to slow down and double check the plan. If you proceed consciously, your plan has a better chance of success than if you were reckless and impatient. Okay, that's Mars. You may experience a blockage of some sort, internal or external. You may feel this tremendous urge to change or move forward in your life, but seem to find blockages and limitations with every effort. That is likely your perception, not necessarily the reality. So you have to ask yourself if you feel inadequate to the task at hand for some reason. What are you afraid of? Fear is always false evidence appearing real, right? Release fear and choose to be responsible for creating your life. If you don't, your outer circumstances only become a reflection of your inner belief. You will attract criticism and repel support. Take your grand vision and figure out 3 small steps that you can take on this restricted level that is still taking you in the direction of your goal. Don't try to initiate it this time. This is a time for cultivating, planning, working behind the scenes, doing the detail work and foundational, what we call the grunt work, that is necessary to support the grand vision when the time comes to fully express it. Okay, deep breath. Like I said, we went through a huge reset. So we probably do have to move some things around in our reality. I know for me, I just moved 6 months ago and I haven't fully set up my altars. And then I start this ancestor class and now I got to redo all the altars anyway. So I'm having fun, but I had to tear my house up to do it. So the literal reality seems a little chaotic, but it's all going to result in more order, more structure, more ease and grace. So we want to work on that. 11/11 is another special portal on Thursday. So Shanta and I are going to get together again, and I've created a registration page on my site. These are community events where everyone is welcome, and we love when you share this invitation. So I'm going to probably put it up on Instagram so that it is easy to share. But we're going to gather on Thursday, November 11th at 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 noon Pacific, to honor the 1111 portal. Basically, Shanta and I have been together for years. We worked the 07, 07, 07, 08, 08, 08, 09, 09, 09, and of course, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, 12 are also special portals. And so those are the ones that we work every year, pretty much. But they are special times when we can reset our individual systems using numbers, which are our universal language. During these portals, we can activate alignment within and consciously move to new levels of consciousness as well as existence. So I will talk about the energetic support around our portal, and Shanta always channels a beautiful meditation that allows us to integrate our intentions on a cellular level. So join us live if you can. You can also just register to request the replay. We ask for a $22 donation, but that's totally optional. If you have it, that's wonderful. Like I said, this is a free community event, and we do as much fundraising as we can with these things, but it's not mandatory. We want to have the experience of you all being with us. Again, if you can't make that time, we know that's kind of a funky time for the East Coast. So you can always get the replay and do the meditation and benefit from the energy. I mean, Shanta really does weave some beautiful energy into these calls that allows us to raise our frequency. It's a beautiful thing. This will be a Zoom. Oh yeah, let me say that too. It'll be a Zoom, not a conference call. So join us there. The next day is Friday the 12th, and we have Sun trining Neptune. Now this might smooth out a few of the rough edges. This energy triggers your idealistic, altruistic inclinations, but remember that help has to be invited. But if you have the energy to share and to spare, then dedicate yourself to something greater than you. Choose a cause to support or help those less fortunate for the sheer pleasure of giving. If your energy is low at this time, it is better directed inward in order to replenish. If you can, take some extra time in intentional solitude, praying, meditating, and connecting to spirit this week. You will be rewarded with deep revelations and mystical discoveries within you. It's a great time to do divinations, ritual, or ceremony if you're into that. Your intuition is heightened also, so pay attention to any messages that come through or to you. Try to use this energy to reflect on where you are and dream a little about where you want to be, mentally, spiritually, and physically in 6 months from now. Deep breath. So remember, the sun is an annual rhythm. And so we're checking in quarterly, every 6 months, that kind of thing. But I like this because this is supporting our gate of power. This is supporting our, remember I said we do the most divinations now. And Neptune in a trine makes it easier for us to access our ancestors, angels, and animal spirit guides. So again, it might be a little tricky in reality, 3D, and social collective realms. But privately, if you can get that intentional solitude, you can probably get some answers too, just by tuning in, opening up, and listening. Last one of the week is on Saturday, November 13th, Mercury opposed Uranus. This energy tends to make your mind work in overdrive. Not that you think too much, but rather that you may tend to think, speak, and process information faster than usual. Okay, so that's Uranus cracking us open with the aha moments, right? However, when you're moving that fast, sometimes you can overlook something vital. The negative expression of this energy tends to make you feel scattered and disorganized, but the positive side of it is making those brilliant connections that are normally just out of reach. Your perception and intuition are picking up so much in such a short period of time that you will want to review the details later to ensure that you didn't overlook something crucial to your development. You may be impatient with the same old routine, but check in with your body to make sure it is not just your monkey mind playing tricks on you. It is a good time to breathe and be flexible, because if you are impatient with this energy, you are more likely to make mistakes or have accidents. Anytime Uranus is involved, radical shifts and aha moments are totally possible on an internal level. However, on an external level, you may tend to blurt things out without proper forethought. Be sure to engage your heart and some kind of filter, especially when communicating with others this week. Deep breath. That's why I said go to the ancestors. Don't talk to the humans this week. If you can. I know we all can't do that. I know. But another power-packed week, y'all, that is all personal. This Mercury and Mars, our ideas and our actions, is getting all recalibrated this week along with the gate of power. So tuning in to ask the ancestors about those ideas that are most juicy for you and that have the most vitality in them and that will benefit the most people down the road. and ask them for right action and right timing for you to take those actions, right? So we're always looking to follow our intuition about right timing, and they can definitely help us with that as well. And I will give a little shout out. I know Yay and I are supposed to be teaching a class on 12/12. So that's going to be a hugely busy day that I'm not sure that I'll be able to get together with Shanta. We might be able to squeeze it in, but I have a class and an Elay, and that's a pretty full day on a Sunday. So we'll see. But I know I'm going to be with Yay. So I would love to see you all with Shanta this month on 11/11 for sure. And I will put out the details for next month's goodies closer to the dates. All right, everyone. That's our week. Know that we are opening up to these Taurus Scorpio eclipses as well. The North Node is about to shift January 19th. So see what I mean? 2022 is going to have a very different vibration than the last year and a half to 2 years of Gemini Sag. Now it's shifting to Taurus Scorpio. So where we've been in ideas and thoughts and belief systems and concepts, we're getting in the body now. We're going to get literal with Taurus Scorpio. So be ready. That's all I can tell you. Be ready and reach out when you need to. And know that I'm cooking up the Venus book. That should be ready by next week. And we can start scheduling the Venus readings and getting you all set up for the new year in January, which we're going to, of course, have to just sprinkle about in November, December. But it's all going to work out. I'm excited. So many of you have already signed up. And so I can't wait to get you going. By the way, here's what's come about for the Venus Circle, the Soul Sisters Circle. And then I'm combining the Astro 101 class with the Mercury retrograde classes that I'm setting up for 22. And they're going to have their own private community as well. But we have a community now, y'all. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So at the bottom of the blog, you can email me directly because you have to be invited. It is a private community. So most of you know I don't really do Facebook and Instagram the way everybody else does. I don't chit chat. I don't put my business out there. I don't connect with people like that way. That might hook us up, but then we have to have the direct connect. For me, that's what works best. So I'm so excited that they're offering, this is my teaching platform where the Venus Circle is now going to be housed too. So most of you know that all these years I've been emailing goodies and hosting those audio replays on my Google Drive, which is not that reliable. And now we have a whole platform with unlimited space for all our goodies and tools and PDFs and downloads and all that good stuff. And a private community where we can talk about the things we're learning. I'm so excited. Now, the Power Circle community is my global community that gets this missive, that gets these blogs, that reads my posts, and everybody's welcome. That's the whole big community. The Venus Circle is a class, so it's going to be private. You have to be part of the class to be in that community. Same thing with the Soul Sister Circle. Same thing with the Astro 101 and the Mercury classes. They're going to be private to those people. So Power Circle is the one that's open to all of you. So feel free to email me with your request to join. And then you will get an email from podia.com, Podia, asking you to finish your registration. So then that email and whatever password you create is your login to my teaching platform. Now, the other beautiful thing about having that login is then you have access to all of my classes, which are about to all be loaded up there. So it's going to be a really cool thing in the new year, but I need the next 2 to 3 months to set it up. So bear with me. I would be really happy and grateful to those of you who join early to help me kind of work out the bugs. So reach out. And that's my news of upcoming new places to play with us and new places to learn and have all our goodies in one place so we don't have to worry about missing emails, which I've really been having a time with. I'm just so excited. Again, with the containers, right? I told you we had all these brilliant ideas and things were all over the place. And now by the end of the year and the beginning of the new year, we have to start constructing these new containers. This is going to be one of mine. So thank you for witnessing my evolution and being part of my community and part of my circle. Thank you so much for listening. This, of course, was a little long thanks to the holiday and all these juicy activations. But I hope you have a fantastic week and reach out when you need to. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.